Hi, I'm Pete McCormack from Belle Property Orange, and I'm here with our Senior Property Manager, Erin Ma. And specifically today, we wanted to go through starting a tenancy with Belle Property, what that looks like, because we quite often get asked the same questions from a lot of people. So I wanted to go through some of those questions, Erin, if you don't mind. And so I wanted to start with the first 2 weeks' rent that people pay. How does that work?
Well, it's actually your first 2 weeks' rent. So a little bit like a prepaid mobile phone, you pay for it and then you use those first 2 weeks' rent. So you don't get them back at the end of the tenancy. They're actually your first 2 weeks' rent that you use whilst you live in the property for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. And so when really should people pay again, or when should their first payment start?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So to avoid falling into arrears, we recommend that you start paying rent about a week after you move in.
Yeah.
And that way you've got a 1 week buffer. So, and then you've got to account for the time that it takes for your bank to physically transfer the money over to us, for us to actually go through and receipt that money. So we recommend that you pay your first rent after you move in at around between days 7 and days 10.
Yeah. Okay. And how will people know if for some reason the rent gets behind or they are behind? How are they going to find that out?
Yeah, so look, we'll reach out to you via an automated text message. You'll usually get that when you're about 2 days behind, just depending on public holidays and things like that. But you'll also get an automatic receipt emailed to you after we receive every rent payment. And on that receipt, it actually tells you where you're paid up to. So that's a really good thing to pop in the back of your mind. I need to pay rent again before that date rolls around.
I know that we occasionally get phone calls from people who've got that automated text specifically around public holiday times. Is it always accurate?
Well, the text message will be accurate. It'll just depend on when you paid your rent. So be mindful, if you pay your rent after 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and perhaps Monday or Tuesday or a public holiday, we may not get that rent until Wednesday or Thursday the following week.
So they might get a text first.
They might get that text message over the weekend. They might get it on Monday or Tuesday, and they've paid it on Friday after the bank cut-off time. So just be mindful of that. So think of it, you've got to make sure that we receive your rent payment for your upcoming rent period before it's due.
Yeah, okay. Maintenance. I think that's something that most people have over the life of tenancy at some stage. How does that work? How do they log it? What's the best way to get in contact with us?
So maintenance, you're best to report it via our portal. And if you report it via our portal, there'll also be some sort of troubleshooting things will pop up. So if you report, oh, my oven's not working, the system will bounce back at you and say, look, have you set the timer? Have you checked that the fuse is still in your meter box and things like that? So log it online. Even if it's an emergency, we'll give you instructions. Now, you would have received a pre-verified maintenance link when you move in. So that's a link that you can just click on and log that maintenance.
Is that for their property?
Just for their property. Otherwise, you can go through our website. There is a maintenance link there. You will have to verify yourself first, just so that you're not logging maintenance for random properties. But otherwise, that pre-verified maintenance link. If you want another copy of that link, just call the office and we can get that sent through pretty quick to you.
And what are tenants' responsibilities around some maintenance issues and owners' responsibilities? How does that work?
Yeah, so getting a few maintenance requests about light bulbs at the moment. So light bulbs are considered a consumable, and they are the tenant's responsibility. And that includes light bulbs, in your heat lamps, in your tastic lights in your bathroom, your oven, your range hood, anything that's got a light bulb in it. Another thing is batteries as well. So remotes for your air conditioner or your garage door remote, they are your responsibility as well.
Right. And then realistically, what's the best way to get in contact with us? If people need to know something, is it best to jump on the phone, shoot an email? What works best?
Look, email works best for us because we've also got a record of you contacting us. If you're unsure about the email address, just reply back to one of those receipts that you've received via email. That'll go direct to your property manager and they'll be able to answer you accordingly. If it's super urgent, just reach out to the office. We'll get help.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time, and make sure, as Erin said, reach out to the office if there's any questions. We're here to help.